Welcome to Citizens of the Rave, episode number 8. Today we have Bexxie joining us from North Carolina. Bexxie's career has been absolutely taking off lately. She's been getting regular placements on massive Spotify editorial playlists where she has over 500,000 monthly listeners. And I can't wait for you guys to hear her perspective, her outlook, the self-care that she's doing, and how she's literally sourcing her music from the cosmos.
Yeah, and a big thank you to our sponsors, Paps. Keep giving us awesome stuff that we get to give away to you. Today, this beautiful tie-dye hoodie. This retro fanny pack. And another retro t-shirt. Go to our Instagram, find out how you can win, and enjoy the show. All right.
Shall we get started?
Yeah, Bexxie, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
To be here.
You look beautiful.
Yeah, we're stoked to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, so how is North Carolina? Just before we hit record, you said there's a storm coming?
Well, no, it just looks like it's going to rain. It's super humid. There actually was a hurricane
Wow.
like this past week. Yeah. But it was fine here, but it came up the whole East Coast.
Is that normal?
Yeah, this time of year, that's pretty normal.
Whoa. Have you ever had like a crazy hurricane situation?
Not since I've lived here. It's usually just like crazy amounts of rain, and like, so you just kind of have to worry a little bit about like flooding. Not where I'm at, but that can happen. But I haven't had any like major situations since I've lived here.
This meeting is being recorded.
Sorry.
For quality assurance, of course. Press 1 if you don't want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah, but when I lived in Jersey, like I grew up in Jersey, and periodically they would come all the way up the East Coast, and there were some pretty bad ones I remember growing up.
Yeah, that's one thing we don't get on the West Coast is hurricanes.
Yeah, we also got a tornado here, and that was surprising.
Crazy.
Not used to those.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those in real life. So how's this summer? Like, how's it been? Is everything open again? And are you guys partying and stuff?
Yeah. So
DJing a lot?
We opened, what is it, July? I guess like end of May, sometime around then. So my state's been pretty, it's been fully open, and I've been playing just locally, so.
And is open like really back to normal, like full club capacity and everything?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
good.
That's good, because here it's like we're open, but we have to sit at tables still, and you can't dance.
Right, yeah, we were doing that for a little while, but no, it's like fully like, it was really weird going back to a club for the first time again and like just kind of walking around like normal, like getting used to it. But yeah, no, it's fully open now.
Good.
Like.
Weird, but awesome at the same time, I'm sure.
I can't wait.
Yeah, totally. It just doesn't, it takes some getting used to for sure.
Yeah. I forgot like how much I like dislike writing up contracts and like negotiating and like doing all that kind of stuff with promoters. I mean, it's not a dislike, but it's something that I just kind of forgot about, and it's been rolling in, and I'm like, yes, I'm so excited, but then I'm like, yeah,
totally. Then you have to do all that side of things. I forgot about. Totally.
It's a year and a half usually just rips by so fast, but like when everything stops, it's felt like forever. Like it's so weird. Like things are coming back, but we're thank God.
What did Mala put up on his Instagram? He's like, it was a long time ago, but it just totally stuck with me. He was like, it feels like it's like March 50th, 2020.
March 50th.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a good one.
Right.
That's a good
We're just
one.
stuck in March.
Yeah. That's what it feels like. It's weird. It's like, I have a hard time figuring out like what month it is and what day it is. It's like, what? Where are we? It was a weird time warp that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's good
so
though.
You guys are starting to play shows again now too?
Yeah, we got lots of stuff coming up, and Yeah, there it is. Lots
Our
of
laundry.
stuff coming up.
The laundry.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
We always wash all our sheets on Sundays.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. You're doing laundry too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like the National Laundry Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm glad you're DJing and back at it. You've been DJing quite a while. Like, when did you start exactly?
Yeah.
What year was it? Like 2000 or 99 or something?
I started, so I got my first pair of turntables at 15.
Woo!
Like, they were these, like, Gemini, they were, like, these Gemini,
Geminis.
not great. Like, they were, like, I bought them from a friend because he upgraded to Techniques, and I was, like, so enamored and fascinated by it, you know? And, so I was, like, 15, and then, I don't know. That was sometime in, like, the late 90s. I can't even remember. And, I started playing out. I think I played my first show when I was 17, so
Cool.
yeah, I think like 99.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, around that time.
I was trying to figure it out. I was like, guessing. That's crazy you started on Geminis, man. Those things are so touchy. Like, I was lucky enough to start with Techniques, which are like perfect. They're beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
But learning on Geminis.
If you can beat match on those, you can beat match on anything.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, they're hard. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow, so a long time. When did you start producing then? Like, that was that years later?
So that was probably like, so it started like college. So around like college time, I think I got like a version of Reason that I had on a computer and just started messing around. And I think even before that, I actually found this. I was at my parents' house recently, like going through stuff in their basement because they were trying to move, and I found this like this old box of this box for the software Acid. It was like Acid Loops or something that I had that I think I was playing around with in high school.
Yes.
So I don't know if that really counts as a DAW, but
wow, that's what Leduc said.
I think that was like my introduction.
Yeah,
and then
it's old school.
and then I started messing around in Reason and just kind of went from there.
Josh was doing acid in high school.
And playing records. I started on records too. I started like 2000, so around the same time as you. But that's all there was vinyl, but I wasn't producing. But Leduc has been producing as long as you, and he started on Acid and Reason, and that's the old school stuff, right? A lot of people say Fruity Loops too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember when Fruity Loops was Fruity Loops and not FL Studio, Yeah. And I think then I transitioned to Cubase, and I was on that for a long time. And then I stopped, and then when I got back into it a few years ago, that's when I was like, I had literally zero equipment at that point, and I was like, well, I'm gonna give Ableton a go, because that was kind of like seemed to be the standard of a lot of producers that I knew, and and I love it, like compared to what I was using before. Just the workflow is just great. So,
yeah, cool.
And
was it always drum and bass? Sorry to interrupt.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah. So was it always drum and bass in the beginning before you? Because I know
I actually started playing happy hardcore.
Oh wow! Awesome.
Yeah, and then transitioned into drum and bass, and then kind of stuck with that for a while. And then when I started up again, it was just like house just seemed like the natural progression at that point, So I just feel like all the elements of all the music that I've been playing and listening to and all that stuff kind of, it's still kind of comes together with like house music. It's just all the same, but just at a different BPM to me,
Yeah.
Cool.
Just dance music.
Okay, can you paint a picture for me right now? I want to know like when you're DJing and making like happy hardcore, like what kind of outfits are you wearing at that point?
Fun fur.
So I wasn't like fully Candy Raver or anything. Like I think I had like a little bit, but like back in the 90s it was definitely like wide leg jeans, like really, really big wide jeans, and just like little crop tops, baby tees, like that sort of thing. That was pretty much the style. That was what I was wearing.
Yes, that's like what I wear now.
It's coming back.
It's totally coming back now. It's crazy to me, like see like teenagers wearing like really wide leg jeans.
And just
like big
skinny
parachute pants.
Top.
I had those like the UFO pants. I don't know if do you remember those? I had a pair of those. Yeah.
Are those the ones that like double as a backpack?
I think you could. I remember there were all sorts of like straps on it, so you probably could like turn it into something. I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's
I heard
awesome.
I think I heard AC Slater talking about that on a podcast. Some like
the clothes
parachute pants that doubled as a backpack. I'm like, wow, that's versatile.
Yeah, happy hardcore.
I have too much shit to carry. I'm just gonna take my pants off.
Right.
Especially this time of year. You're good. I've worn pants in a month.
Oh, it's so nice.
I was talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
Yeah, we just went through like a crazy heat wave here. It was wild.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, like record-breaking temperatures. So it got up to close to like 40 degrees Celsius, which, what's that in Fahrenheit?
I don't know, 110 maybe? I'm so bad at converting those.
Yeah. It was hot.
It's hot. It's hot.
Wow.
Do you are you North Carolina?
Yeah, North Carolina.
Did you get winter?
So it's like,
excuse my
a little bit.
geography.
It's kind of like we get a really, really hot, gross summer. It's like right now it's like 90 something and like 90-degree humidity, and it'll be like that till like September probably. But the trade-off is that our winters are very, very short and mild.
Yeah,
so
that's nice. I love the heat. So
Yeah, I love it.
oh yeah.
Take me to the heat.
yeah.
Okay, so you took a break from music for a while, correct? Right?
Yeah.
What was the reason for you slowing down, or did you like stop altogether, or like walk us through like what that was like for you?
I think it was just kind of like just life stuff, you know, at that point. Like I was just doing other things, and I don't know, just kind of like stopped completely. Just kind of, I'd been doing it for so long, and you know, I just was, like I said, just doing other things in my life at that point. And like I had like a business that I was doing for a little while I was working full time. So it was just like a lot of stuff going on. And I just thought like I wasn't going to do music anymore. Like I felt like that chapter of my life was just done, you know?
Yeah.
But it wasn't apparently. Yeah. So, it was just like a few years ago. I don't even know, like it wasn't like anything crazy happened, but just something like inside like kind of sparked and was like, you need to like try this again, like try it out, like baby steps, but try it out and like see, like I don't know, just like that passion, whatever, like came back. And so just been making music ever since that. So
you must be glad you did, because you know it's going really well, right? So
I mean it's definitely it's definitely working out for sure. It's been a wild ride, so no, it's great.
You're killing it lately, like killing it. It's so cool to see. And
Thank
so
you.
do you think that is there anything that changed for you, or anything that was different? Because you've been doing it for a while, but it seems like when you came back, it was like something has like shifted, or there's a new perspective, or like what changed for you?
I think just, you know, I think for me personally, it was like accumulating a lot of that life experience and stuff too. And like, I think when I was younger, I don't know, I feel like I'm coming at it in like a totally different like mindset too than when I was younger. Like, I feel like there was a lot of stuff going on that was just like holding me back from like, you know, like you could be your own like worst enemy with stuff. And so I think now it's just like I said, like I had a business and stuff, so I'm kind of like going at it in a different way, and I've just like done a lot like of personal development stuff too. Like I'm a big like personal development junkie or something, reading. I love like psychology and all that stuff. Like I know you can relate, right? So just like a lot of basically like finding myself, you know. I don't know, that sounds like cliche, but it was just having to go through some things in life and then coming back to music and just, like I said, just having like a totally different perspective on it. And it's almost like I feel like I have this like second chance too to like, you know, just see where I can really take it, you know, with like all the stuff that I've learned over the years and all the work that I've done on myself to like really be able to like push myself and but also come at it in like a place of like, I'm just really, really excited and passionate about what I'm doing too. So it's not like I'm just trying to do it just for like, you know, whatever. But I don't know. I'm just like really, really excited about it too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe sometimes you need that, right? You need a little bit of a break and
Yeah.
some time to like grow up and
right, exactly,
and change your perspective. And I think that like even you saying like it sounds cliche but it's not, man. Like doing all that work is so incredibly important that you know, like even just having like you mentioned being self-critical, and I think that a lot of us have that, especially as artists and people who work in DAWs. Like there's a little bit of perfectionism that goes with, you know, like fucking slaving over a hi-hat pattern for a full afternoon. And so learning how to like put that kind of stuff to bed, I think is really, really important for longevity in this kind of career. But is there anything like in particular that you think you do when you have those kind of self-criticisms that creep in?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so like, yeah, again, I think the difference between like now and when I was younger is like I don't feel like I had the tools to deal with when stuff like that pops up, you know, like the self-doubt, the perfectionism, the like constant like, you know, your mind going like telling you, oh, this isn't good enough or whatever. I didn't really have those tools, but now I feel like I have a lot more of that. You know, there's a lot of like meditations that I do and stuff that kind of like help. I mean, yeah, you probably, again, you understand this stuff, but there's like meditations that I use that kind of like reprogram my subconscious. So like it helps me to like fully, like consciously, you could be like, yeah, no, I know that this is good or whatever, or like, you know, but subconsciously there's something going on back there that's telling you it's not, you know? So yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that I do. I do a lot of, I feel like actually like the work that I do on music, like learning all that stuff, I think that's half of it. And then half of the rest of it is like actually doing the work on myself as well. Because without that, I would probably just stop making music because I would just get so overwhelmed and be like, this isn't good enough. I'm not putting this out, you know? So,
you never finish. The thought patterns are so important.
Yeah,
you have to believe in yourself or else you'll never put it out, of course.
Yeah. So that's a huge part of it.
I love that saying that like half of it is like the actual music and half of it is like the mentality and the self-care piece. And I think that I think you're bang on with that. And I love what you're saying about like reprogramming your mind too, because we spend our entire lives creating the thought patterns that exist in our mind. And so when when we have a tendency to be self-critical or self-judgmental or negative, it's like really hard not to like go down that pathway. So there's this great analogy of like your mind is like a snowy mountain and your thoughts are like sleds that go down the snow. And the more times that you have those thoughts, the deeper the crevices in the snow get. So next time that situation or circumstance happens, it's almost impossible for your thoughts not to go down those same pathways. So you need to have like fresh powder, which is like new nourishing thoughts, which you can do like through meditation or self-affirmations or journaling, or just like really making a commitment to go through your day and appreciate things and notice good things, because our brains are literally programmed from an evolutionary standpoint to like scan our environment, look for the negative thing, fixate on it until it's fixed. So we all are like,
or be scared and run away.
Yeah, exactly. Plus we live in these societies that are, that have like a huge proclivity towards criticism and like, negativity. So everyone's like walking around like, I'm worried all the time. I'm not good enough. I'm going to get canceled. Like, no, it's just like, So it's
there's a lot of anxiety for sure.
And then like also
but that shit's in your head.
Being like, as a solo act too, that must be also challenging. Because I know for us, like if one of us is like feeling some of those things, it's like, okay, help me out here. Like rub my back and tell me it's okay,
Right, exactly.
That's why it's so nice to have the Cosmic fam.
Yeah, it's important to have that support system. And I was just going to say, like, Cosmic is definitely a huge part of that for me, too. I feel like that was, like, one of the many, many reasons I joined, but I just knew if I was like really gonna like make this commitment and really like see where I can take this, like I knew I needed to have a support system in place too, because like you said, by yourself it's really, really tough, and it's really lonely, you know.
Because your friends are always going to say it's awesome when they shouldn't. Not the best people to ask.
But yeah, it can be like really easy to fall back into those old patterns. And like also like for you guys, like I mean I'm assuming that the rave scene in the 90s was like a lot of like plur, but there's also a lot of like probably like super like crazy rude people walking around too.
Oh yeah, especially
like
in the
it's
drum
not
and bass
as like
scene.
politically correct, you know, back then. So that I mean that's probably like a whole nother layer. I don't know if you guys can speak to that at all, but
I mean there is plur, but there's also like junglists who are like fuck plur and all those people and candy kids.
Oh, they weren't all that bad.
Well, here they were. They were like actually like battle each other. It was funny. They hated each other.
I remember so I grew up in New Jersey, right? And so I started raving in the New York City scene, and I remember the time like hardcore, not happy hardcore, but like hardcore and gabber, like that was huge. And so sometimes you go to raves and people are like moshing. So
that shit's gangster.
Yeah, so it was a little crazy. And it was also kind of a wild, wild west, you know, like it was just promoters would just try to find venues that would actually let them throw these parties at. And like, we would just like, I would see like venues just being used up until the venue was like, no more. Like, you guys can not come party here anymore, you know?
Or bridges or abandoned warehouses. Anywhere, really.
Like, there wasn't really like clubs, you know? It was just like, well, it's just whatever venue we can find that are like, you know, they let promoters throw a party at, basically. Or there was like,
you bring your parents to these shows.
Have I brought them?
You have, right? I was reading about one of them.
They have come out to a couple of my shows,
And one of them in New York, right? I was reading about that. I'm like, oh, that's funny that she took her parents.
Oh my God. I'm like, wait, where did you read about that? I don't remember. They came out to one of the shows I played in New York. And my dad still tells the story about it too, because apparently like some young rave girl was like talking to him in the bathroom, and it probably like just made his night or something, you know?
Made his life. Still tells the story. Exactly. I love it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Your dad's a raver now? I love it.
He only knows happy hardcore though.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about COVID was that my parents actually like started watching my live streams.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom would join the Twitch chat sometimes. It was really sweet.
So good.
That's
Because
cool.
I'm like, you don't have an excuse now. Like, you don't have to come to my 3 a.m. set at like, you know, in the middle of the forest. You can just like, you can just watch it online. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite raw back then. That's for sure. I've been to some very sketchy venues and. Sometimes still now, but not as much. It's more of a handle on everything, and you know, a lot more open. But yeah, there's some times where I'm like, where the hell are we? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And back then you didn't have like GPS or phones. Nothing. You know,
you were just in some van.
Like write down directions or like, you know, I think there was like MapQuest. And you would print off directions.
I don't even think I did that.
And then hope that you made it, but usually you'd always get lost.
Yeah. Sometimes you wouldn't even find the party. A lot of times you just get shuffled in some random van and they'd drive you somewhere and just get out, get in this door. That's wild. I miss that. We should try to do that again.
Yeah. Well,
kids would be like, "The fuck is this?" And then they got phones now, so it's like, okay, it's here.
Drop the pin, bitch.
Yeah. No, I appreciate having a phone now, like especially when I'm going to play shows by myself. Like, drive somewhere.
Yeah.
Totally.
They were great though. Good times. Good times for sure. That's wild. You've been DJing that long. That's awesome.
What do you what do you think has been like one of your biggest challenges that you faced throughout your career so far?
With music, that's a good question. I think really going back to the mindset stuff that we were just talking about, you know, that's been that's been a big one for me. Just like, again, I think it's just like I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. Like, so I just trying to use all the tools that I have to like, you know, work on that and just, you know, kind of push forward. So
yeah, I think that's for a lot of us. I mean, that's probably one of the harder parts of this industry, you know, is that it is pretty ruthless, and you know, you get a lot of no's, and you know, there's a lot of social comparisons, and it's just like it's something that it's an industry that like you got to be like mentally tough to do well in.
Exactly.
And you know, we've seen that, and like look at like what happened to Avicii. You know, it's like an industry that can really eat you up if you don't have those kinds of tools that you're talking about. So
exactly. I actually just watched that for the first time recently, that documentary, and it was really sad to watch. Totally. You know, it's a struggle. So like you said, it's an industry that's like, you know, it's tough. There's a lot of rejection for sure. You know, just so you just have to like, you have to have the like, you know, all that in place because it's really tough. You know, so and just being able to like, you know, continually work on music. I'm also like working on currently, like I'm struggling with like not burning out because I do work a full-time job as well. So like just trying to balance all of that and not burn myself out, because I have a tendency of doing that. I have a tendency of just like overworking myself. So right now that's kind of what I'm focusing on, is not doing that, and but still being able to, you know, produce and get my stuff out there, but you know, in a healthy way.
Well, you're doing a heck of a job.
Do you look at it all as one like DJ career, or do you feel that there was like this past thing, you had a break and then you started totally all over, or do you feel that it was just like the progression that happened, or you're just like literally like, okay, this is this fully new thing that I'm doing, you know? Like,
I mean, it's kind of both. Not to like, because I feels like it's like a whole new thing. So I do feel like I'm coming at it with a whole different perspective this time, but I also can't, like, all of that cumulative experience that I've had, you know, from my younger years, like, I can't dismiss that as well. That definitely plays a part in, you know, how I'm going about things now too. So it's like it doesn't really feel like, it feels like a whole new chapter of me, but I'm still like, I still had all this like experience and stuff that I went through in the past that I think still attributes to who I am now. So,
What do you feel?
Yeah,
How do you feel?
I know, as you're listening, because I've been through like other groups and I DJ by myself, and now together we've been like doing it for like 7 years, 6-7 years. So yeah, interesting to think about it like that. For me, it's definitely, they were all so different. Like I was in a group, I was in like a trap group, and before that I was in a group with my buddy, we were breaks DJs, and then before that it was just drum and bass by myself. So they were all so different. But yeah, you go far back enough and it's almost like a dream. Like, you know, because 21 years of DJing is a long time, right? So it's wild to even think about those days. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite chapter for sure.
Aww.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And you went under different names, I'm assuming?
Yeah, it was always different names, yeah. And
let's just talk about Josh's very first DJ name for a second.
Yeah, it's DJ Soft Touch. She loves it. Because I was like really into like, well, I was like drum and bass, but I was like really into like scratch drum and bass and like, you know, like Q-Bert and DJ Craze and stuff. So scratching type stuff. So I was like, yeah, like, you know, cool, soft touch. I don't even know if there was like 1 or 2 flyers. I'm Average Citizen, so that quickly became not too far after, but she thinks that's fucking hilarious. But it was all drum and bass, and then I was going to ask you too, like, because then do you still make drum and bass or spin it at all, or is it just doing like house now?
No, I mean, I have worked on like a couple drum and bass tracks just for fun, like just kind of like, oh, let me try this again and see what happens. But I haven't like put anything out or anything. I'm mostly concentrating on house. Yeah. All the various types of house music that I make.
Because I like forgot about it, but I love it, and then I hear it, and I'm like, oh. let's throw a bit in our tracks and stuff, because, the crowd kind of, digs it. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I was actually thinking about it the other day, like, if it's, like, influenced what I'm making now and, like, or, like, taking elements of what I like about drum and bass and putting it in my production and seeing, like, almost, like, I was just thinking about it. I was like, let me see if I could try to, like, do something like that and see what happens,
Yeah, like I can hear it kind of like those big horns you put in that track you gave us that's not out yet. That reminds me of like, some drum and bass stuff and our sound too. Like I really like jump up wobble type drum and bass in the beginning. And so that went to breaks and then electro house and then the bass house and even a bit of trap. Like I've always kind of geared towards that same sound like, from the beginning.
I think like a lot of the bass house though, like a lot of the sounds in that are very like, to me, like drum and bassy, like
totally.
little like whomps and like
So your roots like stay with you, for sure.
Roots, totally.
What you started with when you were 15. That's crazy. You're DJing at 15. I was like 19 or 20. Yeah, it's 20, I guess. Yeah. So
was there like a particular influence for you? Because you said you were like kind of enthralled with turntables. Was there someone who influenced that for you?
At the time, well, it was so the first time I saw anybody DJing was my friend's boyfriend who had those Gemini turntables, and he was just having like a house party. And I think I had already been to like a couple of raves at that point. And so I just saw him DJing and I was just like, just watching, and I don't know, I was just so enthralled. I think at the time, you just influence-wise, it was just like who all like we were going to see and it was usually like mainly like local DJs in New York and Jersey and Connecticut, like that whole area. But yeah, I mean, his name is Jamin, but like he was the first one I ever saw like DJ and kind of like show me and like, so I guess, cool. I don't know. Cool. That was kind of how I got into it.
Yeah. And there was no like Facebook, internet. There was nothing back then to watch any of that. So it was like, for me too, it's just like I don't even remember his name. Actually, maybe Manos One was probably the first like local I saw. It was amazing. So he'd spin drum bass and he scratched a lot. But yeah, it's just a local that you happen to see at some little rave and you're like, oh, that's
right,
exactly. Like, oh, the fuck is this? This is awesome. Yeah.
And then you just had to
had to buy them.
Practice and like figure it out on your own. And like, there wasn't really, like you said, there wasn't YouTube. Like you couldn't watch a YouTube video like how to DJ.
Yeah. Well, my buddy's like, this is volume, crossfader. And like seeing 2,000 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Lock myself in my closet. That was it.
Yeah, like I remember like the first time I beat matched 2 records together was like this most amazing moment feeling. Yeah. And it took a while. It took like months. Yeah. Just like practicing. It's crazy.
Yeah, shit ain't easy, man. There are no CDJs. That's
such a good feeling though.
Oh yeah. And you're by yourself. You're, fuck yes.
Yeah, like finally I'm getting this.
Oh, yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
That was pretty aggro. How was the transition for you? Like to leave, did you go to Serato or right to CDJs? Like what did you do?
So I remember going to CDJ 100s. That was like the first CDJ, right? Mm-hmm. And like playing, because like I had like a track that I wanted to play, that wasn't on vinyl yet or anything. And it was tough. It was a tough transition for sure. Like, because that CDJ 100, I don't know, have you guys played on them at all?
I think the 1000s were the first ones I played on because I stuck with the vinyl and did Serato for a while.
It did not feel the same at all. And like, it was just like a little like platter with like, just like getting the hang of like the cue button and all that stuff rather than like, I was used to doing this with the record and then, queuing it up that way. So yeah, it was a little hard at first. Definitely like later using the, 1000s and like Serato and like a laptop, it was definitely a lot easier for sure.
And what did you think about it? Like, did you like it, or were you like, did you wish that vinyl would stay?
I did like that I was able to like play music that I had made and just like burn a CD and just play it. Whereas like in the past, if you wanted to play like a track that you made that wasn't out on vinyl, like people were like, they would like cut dub plates, you know, like I don't even think I ever did anything like that, but dub plates, so it was like I really appreciated that part of it. And just like also, I mean, I really like, I just still think it's so funny. Like now it's just like I used to bring like a crate of records to a show, and now I bring a USB stick. You know, it's just like, so it's, for me, it's like nice. I don't have to carry around a bunch of stuff, and I like the convenience of it, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm definitely on that page now, but when it happened, I was like, fuck this, it's not real DJing. Like I was all aggro towards it for like years. Like, and then finally I was like, okay. And I went to the Serato, but still the vinyl. And then, it just makes so much sense. And then they just stopped pressing the records. So it's like, if I want to spin bass house, I can't do it on vinyl.
Yeah.
So, unless I buy a record presser, do it myself, which I'm not going to do. So, but I do miss those days. It was fun. Yeah, it's way more convenient, but it's cool having a bag of records. And I don't know, there's something about vinyl I just love. But
I would love to. I don't have any vinyl or like turntables or anything anymore, but I would love to like try it out again. Just see like, can I still do this? It's been so long, you know.
You can do it.
I think I could.
Yeah, for sure.
She did it, and she had to do it live at a festival and had never done it before.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, with Serato, but still with records, and she's never done it.
I had done it once.
Oh, did you?
I did it at Stimulant Jay's house.
Oh, okay, for like a minute or something.
Like I was messing around. He was like teaching me, and then we had like a time. One of our first like, it was like, it wasn't one of our first shows, but it was like a first bigger show. Like there was like 600 people there. And we got a time slot after Ski Tour. I don't know if you know Ski Tour, but they're pretty big in Canada.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, the guy who was supposed to bring the CDJs didn't show up. Like, you guys got to play on turntables. And we had Serato, but I was like, oh my gosh. And he was like,
that's very nerve-wracking.
If you're like, if you can't do it, it's okay. We'll just replace you. And I'm like, no. I'm going to do it. So
I love that. You're like, nope, I'm going to do this.
I got to do this. So it was fine though. It just like, I mean, my first couple mixes probably weren't like amazing, but I got into it.
More scary than anything probably for you.
Yeah, it was great. It ended up being a really good set actually.
Yeah.
But that was, whew. If you know how to beat match, you know how to DJ, like you figure it out. It's just like the touch, you know.
Right, exactly. It's just different. Yeah. That was like me going from vinyl to pressing a button. Still getting used to that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I miss those days. But you know, I don't want to spin tracks from 2000 all the time. So, you got to move on. I fought it for a while, but it's the future, man. Don't fight the future.
Yeah.
Embrace it.
Don't fight the future.
Yeah.
It's cool you started on 100s. They're literally like this big. Like now it's 3000s, and they're like, we have the 2000s, but we want to get a new upgrade. Now it's like this. But the 100s are like...
Yeah, the 100 is like this big.
It's kind of like cell phones. You know how cell phones, like every other year, it's like trendy to be like super big. And then it's like, now they're super small.
Yeah.
I think the screen on the 3000s is like as big as the actual 100s.
Do you
still have them?
I've played on the 3000s a few times. They're really nice. I like them.
Yeah, they're sick.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of the future, what do you got? What's happening? What's coming up for you? Anything exciting that you can talk about?
Not really. I mean, I have things going on, but I probably shouldn't say.
Yeah.
There are a lot of like exciting things coming up. I've some remixes that I've done that are gonna come out, but I can't say yet. And just working on a lot of different music right now. I do have a release coming out. I think my next release is in September, and it's coming out on Tool Room, which I'm really excited about.
So good.
They're like a dream label of mine.
Yeah.
That's amazing, girl.
So that's one thing I can share. But just working on a ton of music. I'm I'm actually like this year, one of my goals was to try to sing on some tracks.
Yeah.
So I've been working on a lot of stuff
Up,
like that.
down, all around.
Yeah.
I love
so
that.
Catchy.
Well, I didn't feel like that was like singing, but
No.
yeah.
Hey,
I didn't know that was you. I love how you're like, actually, this is me. Check it out. That's how I did it. I was like, okay, cool. That's
That
catchy.
was just like a random like
It's catchy.
weird, like vocal like that just popped in my head, like these lyrics, and I was like, that would be like fun for like a tech house track, you know. I was
Yeah.
like, let me try it out and like see what happens, you know. So
Yeah,
no, that was a fun track to make. Just like it came together in like a day, I think.
Wow, it's a great track. It's super
Thank
catchy.
you. Thank you.
Are you trained vocally? Do you sing or?
I mean, so I always like sang when I was a kid, like just for fun and like in choir and stuff like that. I never was like trained professionally or took singing classes. I was actually doing are you familiar with Kara? She's like the number one like Splice vocalist or something or whatever. She's done like vocals for Kashmir and stuff, but she has like a singing course, and I actually like been doing that.
Cool.
Yeah, so just
How
shout
is
out
it?
to her because she's amazing.
How's the chorus? Do you like it?
Yeah, no, it's great. And I have her also like her vocal production course too. It was just like I was just trying to get like, you know, just really honing down like because I do work with a lot of vocalists as well, so just trying to like get my vocal processing down and you know, and she also kind of like talks about top lining a lot, and so like if I'm actually going to be singing, like actually writing the lyrics and that whole process, like I just found it really fascinating and just interesting to see other people's process with that. So so that's been really fun to just try that out and see, you know, what comes out. So there's a couple of things that I've got that I'm finally like happy with after like a lot of trial and error, you know. So yeah, so we'll see. So hopefully I'll get to put some of that out soon.
Cool. Exciting.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
I want to take that course too.
She wants to sing too.
I want to sing. I've always like
you
just
should
had this
definitely
like
do it.
vision of just like playing the piano and singing, and anytime I see someone doing that, it like lights me up. So I'm like, I gotta do that.
That's amazing. Can you play the piano?
Not really. A little bit, like here and there, but I'm not trained or anything. But like I can find my way around. But I'm gonna
bump, 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 bump.
yeah, baseline writing.
Baseline writing.
Yeah. That's about the extent of my piano playing.
But I've a really good ear. Like I can definitely like hear my way through a piano more than like just knowing the scales. I'm just like okay, like I can kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like on my list of things that I want to do.
Yeah, no, you should definitely do it, and it's very affordable. You know, so I highly recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
No, I want to hear you singing on some tracks soon.
Yeah. Okay. I have to do it now. Have to do it.
Yes, you pushed her over the edge. Thank you. She's talking about this for years.
I've been talking about it for a long time. Cool. Okay, so what? Why do you do all of this? Like, what do you think is your like purpose or reason, or like what are you searching for in all of this?
This is a very philosophical question. It's like getting into like a spiritual realm for me.
It's a spiritual thing.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is. I don't know. I've definitely been more of a spiritual person in the last few years, and I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's anything beyond this, but it definitely feels like there's just something that I can't explain, like deep down, that's just like driving me to do this, and not like I said, like just coming at it like this new, I don't know, this like new chapter. I'm just so excited, and I feel like ideas are just like popping out of nowhere, like, and I just like even think about like where do ideas even come from, you know, like we want to go like crazy, but like I just think about that stuff. And so yeah, I don't know, it's just like I just feel like music has always been like a huge part of my life since I was a kid. Like I've always loved music, and like I said, I was like to sing and all that stuff, and I just always felt like it was just And then I got into DJing, and I was just like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is it, you know? It was just like, I just knew, like, intuitively knew deep down, like, this is what I love to do, you know? And just creating, like, in general, like, I just, like, I don't know, I just like to create things.
Totally.
So, yeah, and music is just a medium for that. So,
and those out of nowhere ideas are the most important. You gotta, when it comes out of nowhere, what? Okay, give me something.
I think that because if you think about like music, like we didn't invent music, we figured out the patterns, you know, and so it's like it always existed. We just had to get ourselves into a place where we could tune into it and understand it. So I think like where you're at, it sounds like you're in a place of like inspired action, which is like you're acting through inspiration. And that's like such an amazing divine place to be because it feels good. Right. And when you're like vibing on that frequency, things come easily to you. And I think you just like tune into it because we all have the music inside of us. We just have to get to a place where we allow it. And I think that like, you know, ideas like, I don't know if we create them, but I think that we can tune into them. And I think that the more that we focus on something, the more it comes to us. So it's like, that's like going back to the negative thought patterns. Like if we're focusing on what everyone else is doing and that they got that gig and I didn't get it, like we get more of that. But if instead we focus on like, okay, I'm going to focus on my creation and I really want to write lyrics. So I'm writing lyrics every day. And then now they're just coming to me like crazy because you're like, it's like you're just attracting
Gotta
it
go with
more
that
and
snowball.
more. Yeah. But I think it's so important to do it from that place of like inspiration, inspired action, rather than doing it from like, I have to do this or like, you know, I'm doing this.
Or some external factor.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
no, and I think you really explained what I was trying to say beautifully. Because like I feel like when I have tried to make music where I'm like, okay, I sit down to try to make something for like a specific label, right? And it's just not coming and it's not working.
Yeah.
And I make it and I send it to him and it's not getting, you know, it's like getting rejected and all this stuff. And it's like, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, this is not coming from an authentic place for me. And so in the times that I have where I was just like, an idea came or I was just like really vibing and enjoying what I was making and just having fun with it, that's been like, when things have worked out for me, you know, with music. So like Feel the Energy, for example, like I think I was like laying in bed, like on my laptop and just, you know, it was like deep in like the pandemic. And so it's just like, you know, working on it. And I was just like, I just want to make something with like a rolling bass line and I like this sound and and like just having like fun time like myself like making this track and I just liked the sounds and when I was done with it I was just kind of like I don't know who's gonna listen to this. Like honestly I didn't think anybody would like
just a
it
few
or like
million.
No, that's your biggest track.
I was like I didn't think it would fit like any of like the labels I was trying to like, you know, like release with or whatever. So it's just you just never know. Like it's just so crazy.
Just gotta let go.
You just gotta like make music like that you enjoy making and that comes like authentically from you, you know, like so yeah.
Well, that track
like,
proved it to you.
Sorry.
That track proved that to you alone, of course. That's like your biggest song and you just were like, wow, you just let go, right?
Yeah, exactly. So so I'm just trying to keep doing that. Doing more of that. Yeah.
Yes, I hope that you keep doing that. It's like then it's like it's coming from source, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it goes like this, like that inspiration will go up and down. Don't get frustrated, and then it comes, you just go for it. When it's not there, it's like all right, just, you know, chill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not get too frustrated about it because I've definitely been through that too. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, riding that wave I think is like another really hard part of the industry because it's like there's always times when you're like, okay, I got 3 shows this weekend, my track's charting, everything's happening, and then it's like 2 weeks of like crickets, and you're like, what's happening with my career? I'm done.
You start watching everyone else killing it. You start comparing yourself, crying.
It is such a roller coaster. You know, just trying to work through all that.
You just gotta shake it, get that new powder, and then the new trails.
Exactly, the new
forget
powder.
about those trails.
Just go meditate with Joe Dispenza for a while.
Yeah, that helps. That's great.
Oh, Joe Dispenza. Yes, I love him.
Yeah.
I read his book. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I watched his series too, and it's just, it's amazing.
Have you tried his meditations?
Yeah, well, the ones I could find on YouTube.
I have them all. I'll send them to you.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
they're so good. The first time I did the blessing of the energy centers. No.
Mm-hmm.
The tuning into new potentials. I cried.
Okay.
I like bawled my eyes out.
You cry a lot.
I know.
I cry a lot.
I cry a lot, and especially in meditation. But I had this one. This relates to what we were talking about earlier with like ideas and source and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this one meditation that he does called Blessing of the Energy Centers, and you like go through all the energy centers and you give them each a new intention, and you try to have like an elevated emotion throughout. And so you go through like all the energy centers, and then we got to the top, and which is like, you know, your connection to source energy or whatever.
Yep.
And so my intention for that was like, I was like, I want to like let the music come to me. I was like, let it like come to me was my intention. And so I was sitting there, and then all of a sudden, like my whole body started like shaking and sweating, and I was like moving back and forth like this, and I was sitting like this, like with my hands on my lap. And my dad's uncle Bill was like a really talented piano player, and he used to always, like at Christmases, he would play, and he would just do this with his head, and he'd be like playing the piano and singing. And so I was like sitting, and I like became him in my meditation, and I was just like going back and forth, and I was like bawling my eyes out, and it was like, okay, the music is in you, it's within you, you just have to let it come. Like stop blocking it with these things about what you have to do or how it's going to come, and just let it be. And since that meditation, I've been just like making such a commitment to, when I sit down to write music, to do it from that place of like inspiration and joy, and not let all that other stuff in, because it's like, I've been in those situations exactly what you're describing, where it's like, okay, I'm making this for this specific label, and I'm listening to like other artists on their label, and trying to tweak things, and then it doesn't work out, and then the label doesn't even fucking listen to it.
Just pisses you right off like, every time.
And it's just like, no, like it's like Uncle Bill is right here, man. He's with me.
Right, exactly.
I gotta play the piano.
Thank you. Yes, you do.
And sing.
Thank you for sharing that. I literally have like chills, like just hearing you talk about that, because I haven't had that specific sort of experience, but definitely like stuff like that has come to me in meditations as well, you know. So
when we quiet that mind and that chatter and just like let go, like really beautiful, incredible things happen, you know.
It's the best. It's my favorite time. I always do producing in the morning, and it's after we do yoga and meditating, and it's just like, I never want to stop. Like I could just do it all day. But when I try to do it at night after a day or whatever, it's like I dabble a bit or whatever, but it's not the same in the morning. It's just like, I always feel like I love it.
Well, at nighttime, I like definitely fall asleep. I feel like in the morning, it's like if you do it first thing in the morning, you don't have all that outside stuff. That's like, then your mind starts going, and then
you haven't thought of anything.
Exactly. So it's
you've
like
thought of literally nothing but your breath.
Totally.
Yeah, it's fun.
Awesome.
So what do you got coming up for like gigs and stuff?
Let's see. So I just played a show here in Raleigh yesterday, and then I'm playing again next weekend in Raleigh, just like a local thing. And what else is going on? I've got, I have a couple of things that aren't confirmed yet for next month, so I don't want to say anything yet, but there's a couple things. But yeah, I mean, there's, you know, a great local scene here, and I'm, you know, like connected with a lot of the people here, and I like, you know, like to be a part of the local scene. So I try to, you know, go and play out and participate in that, and go see other local DJs and support and stuff like that. So, so it's like, it's cool to see the scene coming back here, you know, again. So just trying to like be a part of that and do what I can, you know,
Cool.
because it's been, you know, it's just a lot of people have been just suffered for the past year and a half and just trying to like get back into the groove of things again and help out where I can, you know.
Yeah. People are excited. You've played Canada before, right? Toronto?
Yeah, a long time ago. I played in Toronto. I've played in Ottawa. I think that's it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You have to come play Vancouver.
Yeah, we'll have to get you out to Vancouver for
I would
sure.
love to. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I love Canada.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty cool spot. Okay, well, we want to respect your time. We've been chatting for almost an hour, but we have just like a few questions that we like to wrap up with. Okay, I'll go first.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Failure is.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, I feel really on the spot right now.
That's the point.
Failure is.
Don't get it wrong.
I'm working through my perfectionist stuff, so this is tough for me. Failure is. I don't know. Failure is, I don't know.
That's a good thing.
You don't know what failure is.
I don't think there is
answer.
failure, right?
Yeah, like that. I know. I'm like trying to think of it. I'm like, failure is just part of the process. There you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so success is.
Oh. Yeah, success is, you know, just being, let's see, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, actually, just like what it means to me, but it's just, I think it is for me, success is being able to create from that authentic place, you know, and I think that will bring manifest all the things that I want in my life, you know.
Yes.
So bring that abundance in that way.
Yes, I love it. I love it. A good song is.
Oh. I feel like I'm just like repeating myself here.
Okay.
I mean, a good song
You are a
is
house DJ.
Burn.
Hey, so
yeah.
are we.
Or wait, that's what we do. Just repeat shit.
No, that was great. Sorry, now I forgot the question.
A good song is. I'll repeat it for you.
A good, thanks. A good song is a song that comes from that authentic place.
Yeah.
I guess.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I like how you can actually feel that too sometimes. I mean, no, obviously not always.
I
but
think that's the
sometimes
thing.
You can.
Yeah, Danny, you were talking about the frequencies earlier, and like for me, I feel like when you are creating music at that kind of like at a high vibration, people connect with that, you know? And so if you're not, I feel like that, you know,
the secret sauce right there.
Yeah, so it's like I think it's just like subconsciously you don't even realize like, you know, like the frequency you're putting out or the frequency that you're listening to and consuming. So, you know.
Yeah, well, it's like if you ever want to get into like a flow state is like psychologically where there's not really any thinking happening, and you know when you're not judging, worrying, blaming, you're not thinking about the future, dwelling about the past, you're just like very engaged and connected with what you're doing. And and because there's no place, because of that, like to get into that flow state you have to be like just totally present, and so there's no place for any of that other shit, and like when you're in the flow state, that's when you make those tracks like in an hour or day or whatever, and it just comes easy to you because you're not resisting. There's no resistance anywhere.
Yeah.
Cool. My advice to artists is
my advice to artists, I feel like I've already talked about this, but my advice to artists is, just make music that genuinely comes from you, that you genuinely love and comes from that place of inspiration, and it'll just all fall into place.
I love it.
Yeah.
Trust in yourself.
I love it. I think that it's good that you're repeating yourself, because it's like, it's simple, right? And it's like, but it's something that we struggle with so hard, because we're always trying to like compare and be other people and complicate and add all these stuff. But it's like, when we peel back the layers, it's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to like have fun with it. And then everything happens.
It's like connecting back to that like original, like, why are you doing this? You know? Yeah. And just connecting with that, like that feeling that, I don't know, like, if to me, it's like, it feels amazing when I'm working on a track and I'm in that flow state, it's like a meditation, or it's like, just, and like hours go by and you don't even realize that hours had gone by, so so just.
Yeah, you know why that happens is because like your prefrontal cortex shuts down, and that's where you process time, memory. So sometimes you'll do something and you'll be like, what just happened? I don't remember. Or like time will slow down, or time can like go really fast. And that's also where like that inner critic lives. So all that just like totally shuts down, and you go from like very effortful processing to like more automatic, more smooth, more subconscious processing. But you can only get there if you are like not masterful, but like, what you're doing, because otherwise you're just going to keep hitting roadblocks.
And wouldn't it be so nice if we could just turn that off whenever we want?
I know. We'll get there.
I know.
With practice you can, but just
that's what meditation's for.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But it's a lifetime.
It is.
It's not something you turn off.
But that's like, I think that's our life work, is to just like go back to recognizing that like we're just having this like physical experience to like enjoy it and like create and watch our creations manifest, but we just hold ourselves back with all this like negativity all
future,
the
time. Past. We live more in the future and past, and that's what fucks with us.
Yeah. And our ego, is here and to protect us, but we also have to realize when it's like our ego talking and not like our true self.
Totally.
And just figuring it. So it's like, it's a constant practice, and like I said earlier, like I feel like really it's like about 50% of the time is working on music, and then the other 50% is like working on myself. So it's, I feel like I can't have the success that I want without all the rest of this, working on myself. So,
Totally.
And DJs need to do that so much extra than a lot of careers, I would say, because you are literally in a party life. And if you just get sucked into that, like you're fucked. There's no way you're going to come out of that. So you need balance, and you need to work on yourself.
Right, exactly.
You just won't last. So
you've probably seen a lot of people come and go in your day. Like I've seen a lot, and like so for you guys to see,
it's wild.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it. It's I've been there. I've loved the scene too for a while, and like life happens, or or like you said, it's just a mentally tough industry as well. So it could get after a while it wears on you, I guess.
A little prickly.
So, but just gotta keep pushing and doing your thing.
Yes.
Keep it simple. Have balance.
I love it. Okay, final question. If you could be any day of the week, what day of the week would you be, and why?
Oh my God. Let's see. I guess, I don't know, Sunday, I guess. I like the Sunday feels like this, even though it's like, I know I got work the next day or whatever, but Sunday feels like it's this day that I usually have to either I just have free to work on music that's coming to me, or I can just spend the day relaxing and doing some self-care stuff, spending time with friends, and I don't know. So Sunday to me is just always just feels like a nice day.
I love Sundays too.
Yeah.
And hey, it's Sunday right now. It's your day.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And feedback.
And Sunday feedback day. Hang out with the Cosmic Fam.
And laundry.
And laundry.
Yeah, laundry. Yeah.
Well, Bexxie, so nice chatting with you.
Thank you.
Just
it was so nice chatting with both of you.
Really adore you and admire your work ethic and your outlook and everything that you've been doing. And I love seeing all the success that's coming to you. And I think it's so well deserved. And I can't see that like stopping anytime soon, especially with this new perspective that you have. And it's so cool hearing you talk about like, oh, it's just sitting there and it's coming to me and like it's like you're flowing and like when you get to that place of like effortless elegance, like you're in your fucking genius, man. Like that's cool. Like that's really cool. So congrats to you and thanks for your time. And I can't wait till we can meet in person because we've never met in person.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
You gotta come up here. And we gotta get you those meditations too.
Yeah, I'll send you those for sure.
Yeah. The meditations.
Oh, yeah. The meditations. Yes, please.
Yeah,
Yes.
They're great.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
This is great. I love chatting to both of you. And I hope we get to like you said, meet in person. I'm sure we can talk more about all of that stuff.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Awesome.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.